Iraq?
Iraq again was one of those things where I hadn't been, and I knew it was more dangerous than Afghanistan at the time, because foreign fighters had realized it'll be easier to kill Americans in Iraq because we can get there a lot easier than to go to Afghanistan, and they had learned our tactics. They knew what we were doing. They knew that one of our tactics was if there's an open door, we're going to run into it, because a lot of this stupid, not stupid, but just arrogant special forces, not special forces, all of us, there's going to be a fight anyway, let's just get it over with. That was the mentality at the time. Al-Qaeda knew that. So leave the door open, have machine gunners inside, and then just drill the first 4 guys in the room. They did that. And so we went over there. Our Army counterparts took some pretty heavy casualties, and that's when we kind of started to learn that one of the worst things you can, and nothing on them, those guys are complete studs. But one of the worst things you can say when you're running a team is, well, this is the way we've always done it. It's like, wait a minute, why are we running in there? How about we stop? Why don't we just clear the room from the door? We invented combat clearance. Why are we sprinting at night through houses with white lights when we can put our nods down and own it? And why are we yelling? Stop yelling. When you turn a corner and you point your gun up, I don't need to hear you yell, stairwell! I'll assume there's a stairwell. Shut the fuck up. Quiet. So we started training on silent runs. And we learned when we were silent, not only we were faster and more efficient, we were communicating at the highest levels simply by reading with each other. There's no reason to give someone your position. And then we just started reinventing tactics. Not just we at Red Squadron or SEAL Team 6. Delta was on board with all this stuff, and what we were really good about too, I mean, I mentioned a cross, a rivalry type thing between services. That wasn't us or Delta. We would cross train with each other. And then most importantly, the guys that just got back would debrief the guys about to go over. And we would take them on, even when when we're leaving our relief squadron, we would take them on a shakeout op. Like, here's what we're doing, here's how it works. Everything from intel to workout schedules to here's what you should do, and here's the dangerous part, here's what we're looking for. And we did a lot of that stuff, and it was everything from snipers realizing that they're climbing the roofs. So I'm not saying I agree with this in Iraq, but I don't need body armor. I need to be light. I don't need this many magazines. I haven't shot that much. But again, too, be careful what you wish for. I had a sniper of mine that I was telling him, because he's climbing every building, and he's the first one out there leading the patrol. And we're doing, we realized that you don't need to land on the X. Land over here. We'll walk in, and when they figure that out, we'll take motorbikes in, and then we'll walk in. I had one sniper that I was saying, we had an argument at 6. I was a sniper at 2, but then I said, you can be an assaulter or a sniper at SEAL Team 6. And I said, I want to be an assaulter. My joke was, and again, joking, but not seeing the future, I said, I know snipers are going to kill more people, but I think assaulters are going to kill more famous people.
You said that?
Yeah. It's a joke. It's like the thing with my mom. We're not doing anything. Snipers will kill more people. Assaulters will kill more famous people.
Damn, talk about throwing some shit out into the universe.
That's what I'm saying. So we had this one sniper, and he got to the point, I think, where he was carrying one mag of 5.56. He loved the 5.56 with the 14-inch upper, and then one mag in a harness, and like no water. Like, that's his loadout.
That's it.
And I'm like, dude, I know I know our plan is to only be here during one cycle of darkness, but eventually you're gonna want more bullets than that. And I think our last gunfight on that trip to Iraq, we were in a weird gunfight, and this snipes were up top, and he was blasting out. And my nickname was Nizro, Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill. Nizro. That's so my friends at the bar could yell, "What up, my Nizro?" And he yelled down. He goes, "Nizro, I need a mag." And I said, "No, dude, I told you to carry more bullets." And he literally goes, "Come on!" I can still hear him screaming. But we were learning stuff like that. We learned you don't need to rush through. The first kill that I ever got was on that Iraq deployment, and it's when we just decided, because we were still in between the nods up or even look under them, white light fast. We said we're gonna go slow. We're gonna go in quiet. We're not gonna blow the door. We're gonna pick the lock. We figured out ways to break the glass quietly and open it, and just go inside. Wake them up. Catch them when they're sleeping. See how many guys you can touch while they're sleeping. We started having competitions. How many Al Qaeda guys can you check for a suicide bomb and then wake them up by saying shh? And then watching a grown man shit his pants. That was one of the greatest things ever. But one of the nights we were going into this thing, we had a lane, a hallway, and like the first time we're trying this quiet, and we're walking in. This Al Qaeda dude hops out. He's got an AK-47. He could have killed every single one of us, but he couldn't see us. So we hopped back in the room, and now there's shit. We had a guy with us, Andy, who is a special boat service guy, an SBS, and Brits are the fucking best. They're as funny, or if not funnier than we are, but I compare them like we're the normal keys, they're the sharp keys on a piano. Like it sounds good, but it's a little off. He had a cloud of death over him. The other Brits said, "You're going with Andy. He gets in fights. Like it follows him. You will get you're going to get in a fight." And so Andy happened to be with us, and then one of our guys goes through. We clear the room, and one of our guys, his first kill, blasts this guy, splits him wide open, and then we're kind of looking over there, and Andy, who's been in fights since the invasion, we're like, "Andy, can you go check that guy?" And he walked over with a white light and goes, "Oh, he's fucked, mate." So at this point now that they heard us shoot inside, we got the D-boys hitting another target. Our snipers are going hot. So myself and one of my guys were like, "Well, we got to get out and get into that." These are our first kills. This actually turned out to be the sniper who initiated the fire to rescue Captain Phillips from the Somali Pirates. We got our first kills together. We went outside and we did this cross pan that we'd always been working on. Like if you're on this side, you cover this way, he covers this way, and then you wave and move or whatever. So we're out here. These two dudes pop up like pepper poppers. Bow, 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 bow. So we get our first two kills, and I'm like, "Shit, I just killed that guy." And he goes, "Yeah, I just killed that guy." I go, "Okay, what do we do now?" And he goes, "Maybe we should try one of those bounding things." And then it kind of sinks in. And then that's another, we finished that up. We killed a bunch of dudes. That was our first major fight in Iraq, where the tactics we're using worked, but how did they adjust to us? How do we might need to readjust to this? And that was another thing where now SEAL Team 6 was getting in fights and getting kills. And it was just sort of okay, now, and this is before the Afghanistan huge fight, saying, "Okay, now I have my first kill. Now I'm part of the club, and this is it. I'm in." And then, we finish Iraq and we learn stuff, and then we go back and we train, and then we keep talking to the other guys that are over there, learn new tactics, what's working, what's not working. Do you like which barrel, which magnifier are you using with your optics? We had to tell some Army guys, like, look, that laser, this thing, that pistol grip, and all this is great in Iraq. When you get to 10,000 feet in Afghanistan, you're not going to want that, because weight is measured in ounces, and ounces equal pounds, and it's going to suck. What do you need? You need an EOTech and an iron sight. You're good. That's it. So that was Iraq. So we bounced from Afghanistan, Iraq. I was part. My fourth deployment was, we called it the deployment that never was, because we had. So the commander of SEAL Team 6 just got us authorized. For some reason, we were not authorized to fight the Taliban in Afghanistan. We were supposed to go only after Al Qaeda.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. It was, and it makes sense, sort of. You want to just send the tier 1 guys after the tier 1 targets, but we're getting bored, and there's a lot of fighting in Kandahar. So they authorized Team 6 to start targeting Taliban. That's when Blue Team went in there and just fucking crushed them. Got in fights like epic shit that you can. There's books out there, Mob 6 by Chef, that's fucking amazing. He's just a fucking stud. And so our group they wanted to all go to Afghanistan, to include the head chef. So the bosses, the CEO of the whole team, and they're all there. And they sent like a troop of us, 15 dudes, to Iraq. And our boss, his name is Rich Davini, and I can say that because he's made himself public stud too. He was a guy that taught me, nobody ever worked for me, they work with me. And he agreed to work for Delta. Like, a lot of arrogant team guys wouldn't want to work for them, but he's like, you know what, if we're going to get work, it's going to be for them, because like it or not, the Army runs the show. So we started working for Delta. And it happened to be during the surge, the awakening, when General McChrystal realized, if we start killing Al-Qaeda, which are Sunnis that are hijacking Sunnis, we can get them to rise up and help us, and we can win this war. And they did. Guys like Stan McChrystal, Bill McRaven, they were on the right track, and they were, I would follow those guys to hell. But we started hitting those targets on basically kill missions. every night. And we were to a point where if we only killed 11 dudes, it was a waste of our time.
No shit.
Yeah, it was insane. We're targeting Al-Qaeda in places where they've never seen guys like us. Like even we learn how to interrogate people. Like you get a cocky Al-Qaeda guy. It's like I've seen Americans before, and you say, "Really? Do they look like me?" And they kind of look at your tattoos. I had a demon hunter patch, a beard. Like, I'm not here by accident, my friend. I'm here for you. Like, just fucking awesome shit. Psychological warfare. And we called it the deployment that never was because everyone's in Afghanistan from our crew, and they're fighting, and they don't give a shit about us. So as long as we keep doing this, it's on. And that was, I mean, I think the Iraq War was completely fucked up, but that was one of the best summers of my life because at the time, we were warriors, and that's what we're here to kill you.
Yeah.
And we fucked them up. We didn't have one of our guys hurt. I don't know how many kills we got, but it was guys like Rich that were running the team. Like we would hit a target, and because of the intel on target, the battlefield interrogation, we would hit a follow on target. So it's like, and so we would go up with Rangers, and I love working with them because they're obviously capable of doing all this, but they generally would put like a machine gunner, and they're kind of blocking as we hit the point target. Once you hear the Rangers going hot, and Rangers know. Like two things: ruck hump and fucking killing. So they're just awesome guys. Obviously, they're better than that. I love Rangers. But once you hear them outside, like you hear the 240 going hot, it's like okay, it's a fight. So we would go from house to house, and I'm talking we're getting kills in every room, and we're doing a quick a quick brief to the boss. Like okay, here we got to hit this building right here. And I think I'm talking too fast. I talk fast it is, and I look at Rich and said, all right. You know what, sir? I'm sorry, you're in charge. And he looked at me and said, oh, make no mistake, I'm not in charge. I'm responsible. And that's a great fucking leader right there.
Yeah.
And so we would do that. We had missions where...
so you were, hold on. So you would go hit a house, you would do an interrogation, and then immediately from there do a
depending on what we found, but we generally found the guy we're looking for in the first house or someone that knew who was... There was one guy, and you've been to Iraq. It's a fucked up place too. We were going after a guy called like Mullah Muhammad One Arm because he's a mullah and he's got one arm. We grabbed a mullah, pulled him back. His name was Mullah Muhammad One Arm, but he was missing the wrong arm. There was another one. We grabbed the wrong guy.
Holy shit.
But we would do stuff like... the way that it worked for us is we started in Al-Assad out west, and we were hitting targets up into Syria. And then we cleared it to, we got into Fallujah, got into Ramadi, got into Baghdad, north of Baghdad. And it's not just us, but we're working with the Army, with the Air Force, with the Marines, and we're getting shit done, and we're really winning this war. And like there were times too, what I love about special operators is they really know how to solve problems. They came to us with, there was a problem, north of Baghdad. I think it was called Bakuba, whatever. But it was a peninsula, and it was a small peninsula, but it hadn't been touched since the invasion in 2003. So this is 2007. This place hasn't been touched because there's 19 Al-Qaeda guys there, and they're IED makers. They're improvised explosive device makers. We haven't gotten to them because there's one road in. Yeah. No one wants to drive that road. They're going to blow you up. We're not going to carpet bomb them because there are so many innocent civilians there. And I mean, you do have certain collateral damage, but we're not going to kill that many innocent people. Plus, they're getting bullied by Al-Qaeda, tortured. Like, we can't fast rope. They're going to shoot us down. So they came to us and they said, can you guys solve this problem? And being Navy SEALs, we're like, well, yeah, it's going to suck, but we can swim in. And it's not a swim like a Bud's ocean swim. It's like a swampy, shitty, nasty, whatever. And, there's water in Iraq, and people don't realize that. But we did, and we went in with 17 SEALs.